visto la plorena alla lebre, hai visto la plorena danzare, tolle in tre fosse tonde all'obre, hai visto la plorena alla lebre, non si infotte un po' becco, hai visto la plorena lollo, a che ti mondo la nodo, mersi cagna che so, reghiere non messaggio, hai visto la plorena alla lebre, non si infotte un po' becco, hai visto la plorena lollo. Hai visto la plorena alla lebre, non si impotte un po' becco, hai visto la plorena non lo.
Hey everyone, welcome to my last minute Sunday round robin. Decided to host one late January because I had some time, managed to finish some work, so we're good to go. I'll get into obviously commentator talks. For those who are unaware, the reason I do that is that you can listen while you play without listening to the stream, which can take up bandwidth. Let's go round robin. No need to name it anything else. If anyone wants to commentate with me, obviously feel free to join, but you don't have to. And we'll get started. Eve's actually up first. I saw him join the voice chat, not to talk, but in the channel. So that's good to see that he's there. I'll send you the link shortly. Hopefully you can all hear me okay. Shouldn't be anything wrong with the audio from what I saw, so. Excellent. Eve's already joining. Let me just get the cable sorted. There we go. Someone drops out, you will fill in. Excellent. I'll try to keep that in mind. Feel free to yell at me if I forget, though. Eve is in. We're just going to boot up the game. Make sure the flags are set properly. It should be 7 flags. We're gonna get started immediately, and I will deal with the names. Don't worry about that. That's left over from last tournament. All right, I'll do that first, actually, since I just noticed. And I believe you're on the left. Yes, you are on the left, Eve. Just FYI. All right. All right. Options. Excellent. We're good to go, actually. I always have it at like 10 or 12 since we're doing like the dojo stuff, so. Of course, all characters are allowed, just a reminder, but you do only get one shot per match, but you fight everybody, so works out quite nicely either way. Yeah, I was wondering who Eve was going to pick. He goes with Barabash. That's a good pick, and good luck. I got pinged. Yeah, GG. Yeah, that was really well done. So what was that? I didn't actually get the score. Was it 7-5? I definitely lost, of course, but and I almost gave myself 7 as I was saying that. Anyway, yeah, there we go. I'm used to being on on the left, so I sometimes do that. But anyway, and Tao, you're up next. That's good. Maestro's here as well. I'm gonna kick you out even unless you want to commentate. 7-5, yeah. It was either 7-4 or 7-5. I remember getting a decent comeback, so 7-5 seems right. I don't always pay attention to the score when I'm playing. That's not like the first thing on my mind. The first thing on my mind is not getting killed, so gonna have to forgive me if I made a slight mistake there. Seven to 4? Okay. Maestro says 7 to 4. 7 to 4, okay. Alright, excellent. It is good to get it right because that is one of the possible tie breaks, so just FYI. The points actually does matter. But the first thing that should be your priority is winning. Winning is the most important thing in this format. Okay, Maestro is in, waiting for Tau. Worth noting that the stream is a bit delayed. There's nothing I can do about that. That's just YouTube. YouTube is more delayed than Twitch is. I could move on to Twitch as well, I suppose. But I prefer YouTube for the moment. You can apparently stream on both, but that's awkward as hell, so not even gonna bother messing with that, but you can do that. Very recent change that was made to the rules. Okay, Tau is gonna be on the left, Maestro on the right. Let's go. Hopefully I'll pay better attention to the score this time. So again, Tau on the left, Maestro on the right. There was a pause as Tau decides to pick Yan. Notice how it says Yazuk on the right. For anyone who's perhaps not played the game or hasn't come back in a while, it is Yan now, not Yazuk. That is a bug on the right side there where it named him Yazuk. Actually, I don't know if you even see that clearly with the name tags I have up. Anyway. Maestro cutting right down to the head, getting the first kill. A nice corkscrew from Tau gets the kill. Heavy matchups to start it off. Yeah, and then I'm going to fight Tau my next round, so tough, tough. Nice cut from Maestro. Maestro just finding better angles, I think, so far, in most of these flags. Tau trying to make something happen here with that thrust, perhaps testing the guard a little bit. If he hits the arm, great, but it's really more so to test the guard, see what Maestro does. That's another good thing you can do if you're sort of testing someone's defense and you're struggling to get through. See what they do. See how they respond when you're throwing an attack. Do they just defend? Do they throw an attack on reflex? What do they do? And then you can adjust based on that. Whenever the swords clash, your opponent is giving you information. It's especially true in real life, but it's also true in this game, to some extent. You just don't have that sense of touch to help you, really. Except for the vibration when the blades interact. Nice parry by Maestro. That's really what you gotta do with the corkscrew. You gotta find a way to get blade contact, and then just counter immediately. It's a powerful move, but definitely counterable, as we saw. Nice upcut into X-cut, actually, by Maestro. Maestro going for the stab, but in doing so exposes his head, and Tau takes the win there, that flag. But he has to find a way out of this mess. He's only got 3 flags at the moment. Corkscrew lands, but does not kill. Maestro threatening to hit him there. And picks a really good angle, but Tau just stabs him. And And again, with that angle catching Tao on the arm, and Tao did not adjust in time, so Maestro got it. Nicely done. 7-4, was it? Alright, I'm watching it back. YouTube's a bit delayed, but no, 3. Excellent. Yeah, you might be wrong. Yeah, I recall other characters doing it, but he's one of the only ones, that's for sure. Because there's many of them who hang on to their sword too. So anyway, I think it's because Tao was opening his arm up at least one of those times. Not intentionally, but he was throwing an attack or something, and that's what it led to. Oh, I sent links in the talks, whatever. It's not a big deal. Better to put them in calls is all. Alright, Oak is in. And you've got keyboard. Siant is in. This is going very smoothly. That's very good to see. We haven't really run into any issues yet. Aside from me not remembering scores. But that's not a big deal. Okay, names should be set. Oak, you're on the left. Siant, you're on the right. And Oak, you have keyboard, so you should be able to just select. Excellent. Siant, you're on the right. There you go. So we're seeing a Samuel from Oak, which isn't surprising actually. Oak has been playing a lot of Samuel lately. And Siant going with Marie, which is her main. She has a very unorthodox style with Marie, but it can be deceptively tough to fight actually. Even as a... Like, you'd think the way she likes getting close to you, you know, the saber would have the advantage, but it's not necessarily true. She knows how to grab you in the middle of a stab, and to beat like that. Controlling a lot of space with Marie here by moving in. And then the grab, that's exactly what Siant is very good at. Yazlik was never banned in tournaments. I'm not sure who told you he was, but he's not. Never was. Maybe in some, like, yeah, there was the dojo events where he was banned, but he's never been banned anywhere else. So, yeah, it's just, yeah, frowned upon. Yeah, it's just the dojo, so you can use him if you want. But he is still kind of broken, so I would not advise it if you don't want people yelling at you. But people are usually pretty chill about that, to be fair. It's all just banter. Oak with his first kill. Stab by Siant, but it's to the arm, so it doesn't kill. Though, actually, stabs from Marie to the arm are pretty dangerous, too. So Oak got a little bit lucky there. Nice stabbing over the guard by Siant there. After catching the blade on her hand protection, and then that's a nice lunge. So a lot of people think Marie can only do the double lunge, and the double lunge is the only good move she has, and all the rest of it. As we're seeing here, that's just not the case. There's a lot of things you can do with her. Very good stab by Oak, though. Was picked a lot in yesterday's USFC. Yeah, that's true. And nobody really cared that much, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's whatever. You're trying to win, right? So... everything is permitted here that is not banned by the rules. Which isn't much. There's not much that's not banned. It's just mods, really. But that kind of goes without saying, so... Snap cuts. He eventually gets the kill. This has really been a back and forth fight, pretty even. Nice use of long guard to then get the cut, but Hyant was able to just move forward and stab as well. The danger of that move is sometimes you leave the bind and end up opening yourself up, but if you can beat the blade or strike the opponent by surprise, it can be a very good way of countering long guard. Rushing in, but gets inquartated as well. Neither fighter inflicting that much damage, but then Hyant rushes in, seeing an opportunity. Good offensive Marie there. Alright, they reset a little bit after a little bit of contact. Calm before the storm aggression is how I would describe Hyant's style right now. Nice stabbing under the guard after going for a cut to get the guard high. And then rushes in for the stab. That is 7-5 for Hyant. Here we go. Piper and Wrath. We know Wrath's here. I don't know about Piper. Let's go. Oh, I didn't ping Wrath properly. Hang on. There we go. And with that, we'll be done the first round after that. So, and if both of these fighters are here, everybody's going to be here. So that makes it all the more smooth. Piper's in. Waiting for Wrath. And Piper, by the way, you got to stay in to fight Hyant after this. That's just how the brackets are set up. So be ready. Don't leave right away. I thought Wrath was here. Just restarting the computer. Okay. Yeah, we can wait for that. That's not a problem. We haven't had any hiccups, so this tourney's going really fast either way. In fact, Hyant, if you're ready, we can just do your fight with Piper. I think that makes more sense. So, Hyant, if you can click that link, I'll ping you as well. We'll come back to your Wrath, don't worry. Piper has 2 fights, though, so... Alright, Hyant is in, Piper's in, let's go. And to double check, yes, Piper, you're on the right, Hyant, you're on the left. Let's go. Alright. Take the... Something's going on, hang on. So Hyant on the left, Piper on the right. Let's try that again. Alright, Piper. There you go. Sometimes you just have to go back, and then it works. You'll restart Piper going... Isabella, maybe? But somebody moved back. Alright. Isabella against Samuel. Sion changed character, which is a little bit scummy, but I guess I'll allow it. I thought she went with Marie is all. Nice stab and the cut. A lot of people think that move is kind of overpowered. It's not, though. It really isn't. Sometimes it doesn't even land properly, so it was a bit of a risk, actually, for Piper to go with the full combo. Sometimes the thrust doesn't register properly, so nice grab by Sion. If anything, I would say the follow-ups after thrust were kind of nerfed for Isabella. Nerfed to be reasonable, right? They're still good, of course, but they're not. It used to be that you'd get stabbed and there was nothing you could do whatsoever. It's because Sion went with Marie, but then when we went back, Sion decided to switch to Samuel. But Piper went straight for Isabella, because that was his original pick. So it's kind of a surprise, yeah, but it's going okay. Nice push, you gotta follow it up though. Oh. You had her right there, Piper. Disappointing me, my student. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Good cut, good cut. There's probably a bit of delay too, like that can affect things for sure. There could have been a lag spike right at that moment, who knows. Okay, Piper just needs to watch that stamina, especially after being hit. That's probably his main issue right now, but he is winning. And there's an Isabella lightsaber. That was a thrust too, not a cut, interestingly enough, so the point did not even connect properly, but it still killed. Nice grab. Little block stun bug. I don't think so, but it could have been. Nice grab, countering the thrust. That's the secret. Yeah, it was probably the blade he's interacting earlier, but I'm not sure. Okay, so Piper needs to watch those grabs and to be wary that in the middle of an attack, you actually can be grabbed sometimes. That's why Sion is able to make it work. Piper countering the grabs. Downward cuts. Piper needs to find a different angle, possibly, because this is messy for that reason. A lightsaber to beat all lightsabers, you bet. Yeah, like, it wasn't even a cut. If it was a cut, you know, it would have made maybe slightly more sense, but it shouldn't have killed, of course, or anything, but at least it would be like, okay, the game detected a cut, whatever, you know, but that was a stab, so I'm not sure what the game thinks happened there. It's even more confusing. But Sion, all the same, gets the win, 7-5. And Piper stay in, of course. You are going to be fighting Wrath right now. Excellent. Alright, I'm going to ping you, Wrath. Just click that link when you're ready. And then Maestro, you're going to fight Oak. And before that, Wrath, you're actually going to be fighting Eve, so it'll be your turn, Wrath, to stay in, because you're going to be fighting Eve. Alright. Should be enough time to restart the computer, so... Hate rapiers with Alex? Yeah, exactly. Which is totally fair. Rapiers tend to defeat Alex, so... You might have a warped sense of the matchup luck because I'm really good with Alexander, so I know how to handle that matchup, but the fact of the matter is Marie has a very clear advantage over Alex. So gonna need gamepad? Okay. Excellent. Okay, Piper, you're going to be on the left this time. Wrath on the right. Let's just do Piper. That's easier. Alright. Piper on the left, Wrath on the right. Should both be able to move. Excellent. Saber fight, perhaps. Alexander Mir, really? Oh yes, Wrath has played Alexander before. Okay, that's actually not crazy. I'm not used to seeing Wrath pick Alexander, but I know he's able to use him for sure, so. Yeah. This pick actually does make sense. And he's from Brazil too, so the style definitely fits his lineage the most, I think. Because of the capoeira footwork. And the fact that the Nimcha is kind of like a machete. It's a heavy saber. Excellent picking the angles there by Wrath, enabling him to initiate. That's the thing about the auto guard is you can get around it with tactics like that. The upcut landing, also making Piper limp, which isn't particularly good, but Wrath gets too close. Expertly done by Piper. I don't think Wrath has played a whole lot lately. I might be wrong. He's playing really well so far, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's been playing on his own time, just not on the server. New moves by both of them, but neither one connects. Piper's able to get a panic hit. Piper again going for a new move. Wrath going... I keep calling them new moves. We should really think of some names for them. I don't know what the names actually are in the move list. But they're all just trying to go for style here. They're not even going for the thrust or anything. Which is understandable, actually. In these matchups, the cut is very important. Obviously a very cut-centric character, so that's not surprising. But, you know, the stab is very situational. You can't just walk forward and use it against a good Alexander player. Because otherwise you're just going to get punished. As with most characters, but Alexander has some clear counters to that move. So really finding those angles like both of them are trying to do is really one of the best things you can do. And Piper is coming back. It's a more even fight now. Going for some head bobs. And, yep, they're a bit too close, so some of those cuts don't quite land as they might have wanted. That's just a distance thing, though. You don't hit the right part of the blade, you might not do some damage. Unless you do, like, a draw cut or something. Like that. So Wrath is slightly ahead. Piper dashing in. That's risky. I think he could have been stabbed in the face there. And very good sidestep by Wrath. Wrath really knows what he's doing, which is a little bit scary for when I'm going to fight him. Can't underestimate him, clearly. And grab after the Y new move. I've never seen that before. Well done by Piper. Catching Wrath in the middle of the defense. Wrath rushes in and actually gets a hit because Piper was in the middle of a cut. So it's a double. Wrath really wants to just finish this match up. Oh, the cut to the face and... Yep. Piper got a last-ditch defense in there, but it just wasn't enough. The momentum was on Wrath's side, so Piper has lost the fight. That is 7-5 for Wrath. Very, very well done by Wrath. Alright, Wrath, stay in, because you're going to be fighting Eve next. Let me just make sure I kick the right person. There we go. Oh, I got pinged about something. Hang on. Supposed to stay on one character? What? No. No, you can use anybody. I was talking about the character selection screen. I thought you picked Marie first, and then you switched to Samuel. When we had an error. But I'm not sure. but that's not a big deal. Excellent. Wrath, you'll take the left side this time. Eve, you'll be on the right. And Maestro and Oak, you'll want to be ready, because it will be your turn soon. Wrath, take the left. Eve on the right. Excellent. Who's Wrath going to pick this time? Will it be Alexander again? Alexander seems to be going well, so I'd honestly stick with that. But no, he's going to go with Samuel. Okay. Maybe he doesn't like what he saw when I was fighting Eve, which is understandable. I think Barabash is actually a pretty decent counter to Alexander, so... Not that he is difficult to beat. I think many of the sabers are unbeatable. It's just that many of the sabers, like, they're well balanced and all, but I think something about the way he can upcut, something about the power he delivers, really puts Barabash above Alexander. Arguably, he has more tools, too. Different types of cuts is what I mean by that. Alexander's cuts, most of them are very similar, which is fine. That's his style. That's the way he fights. But it's just something to be aware of. Wow. Very dynamic fight there. But Wrath is ahead by 1. Wrath has been doing really well this tournament so far. Doing well with Samuel as well. Trying to get around the flank there. Gets the arm eventually. Their blades got tied up a bit, but that's because of distance. It may look a little janky, but that's just what happens when you get really close. Okay, Wrath, I think, suffered an issue. Good, Eve. Good on you for not cutting. Alright, let's see what's going on. Are you both good to go? Excellent. Alright, let's continue. Yeah, long guard if you're ready. Of course, that's the standard gesture, just for those who don't know. Very good sportsmanship by Eve, because Eve could... Granted, Eve could have launched the cut before it paused, too, and it would have hit, so let's be fair, but it was really good on him to resist the urge to, cut. So, very good. Eve getting a kill with the upcut. Wrath is playing this really well. He managed to hit the head there. That's why he won the trade, I think. Very good angle again. Sam's sidestep game is actually pretty good. And Eve is really struggling to make anything happen. He looks like he has momentum this time around, but... Okay, he managed to sidestep and get a powerful cut in. And that's probably what he needs. Trying to sidestep, but it is blocked. It might have looked a little strange at first, but if you paid close attention, that guard, the hand guard, I mean, of Samuel really kept him safe there. And a bit of the blade aided in the defense as well, so that actually made complete sense. Eve barely interrupting that cut and gets a kill. And there's a kill for Eve. Very even fight. A lot of even fights this tournament, or fights that come down to the wire. So Wrath is trying to get a punish. That's a double, though. He goes for 2 cuts instead of defending when Eve goes for the upcut. So it is a double. Wow, that is a deceptive move. I don't see many Samuels use it, but when you fight the boss, this is actually one of the moves you fear. Because this move often bypasses your auto guard. It's highly telegraphed, but it's dangerous as hell. And Wrath used it to good effect and scores another point. That is another 7-5 score for Wrath. Excellent. You both can leave now. I'll kick you both out. Let's get Maestro and Oak in here. Oh, whoops, I clicked my own link. That's not ideal. Thankfully, I didn't actually join. Don't know if any of you have actually tried that, joining your own computer, but it looks really weird, as you would expect. Death March XX. Okay. Very fitting name for that move for sure. Let me check the side. Maestro, you'll take the left. Oak, you'll take the right. All right, let's get started. Death March was the move that used to not work. Okay. That's probably why I haven't seen it very much. But that is actually a very good initiating move if you get your opponent afraid. It's a lot like Holy Stance, I think. That's probably a really good move to compare it to. So best way to defeat it is either obviously not be there when the sword comes down, but if you focus too much on that, you're kind of playing into the move, I think. So you don't want to be afraid of it. You want to find a way to interrupt it, I think. Because it is a very slow move by nature. So if you can just shoot in and get a cut, and then cancel to get a guard in, that's probably the best way to do it. Just to make sure you don't double. But if you double, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it doesn't get you anywhere either. So ideally you should guard after. Very good distance management by Oak. That's always been something he's been just superb at. And this back and forth style, and eventually catches Maestro. Just grab them. Yeah, grabbing could work. Sometimes it grabs, you know, sort of slide off the opponent though, so I don't like doing that. But if you're really good at grabbing, you definitely can just grab it. Oak being aggressive. Nice exchange. They both get a hit. Oak got hit in the gut there, and Meister got hit in the shoulder, it looks like. But they're relatively superficial wounds, it looks like. Though actually, Oak's looks pretty painful, I won't lie. That looks like it came close to disemboweling him. Wasn't quite deep enough, though. And a nice cut to the arm by Oak. Meister really struggling to make much of anything happen here. There's that upcut trying to snipe the arm, but he can't get it. And Maestro's really playing into Oak's hands here with what he's doing. He's doing a lot of cuts out of measure, and Oak is getting his rhythm. And so Oak is able to catch him after predicting Maestro's next moves. Maestro has to change something up. That was a good angle. But Oak was ready, and eventually he gets the arm. Oak's distance is on point, you bet. He hits the hand. And I have to say that's really impressive considering where he's from. But he always says my host is really stable for him, and that lag is minimal, even delay is minimal. So that's really good. More belly lunge, more corkscrew, Lux says. We'll see if Maestro does any of that. I have a feeling Oak would have an answer for that. Less swing. I mean, he's using a saber. He's got to get some cuts in. That's just the reality. He can't rely on the stab. I think relying on the corkscrew too much would also be a mistake. And Oak is able to hit the head. Maestro got one flag, but it was a very convincing victory for Oak. 7-1. Submit the scores. Let's get Tao in here. As Tao has to fight me now. Beautiful performance there by Oak. Yeah, Maestro perhaps should have used the corkscrew. I agree with that, but I think just has to be careful not to overdo it. Otherwise, Oak would adapt to that as well. So, all right, Tao is in. I'll take the left, and Tao, you'll take the right. And the thing with the corkscrew too is I found it can be blocked sometimes. So if you get blocked, I guess you can retreat into Y, but Oak seems to have an answer for that. Oak is able to rush you down and cut you anyway, even when you try that. So because of the angle Laszlo picks. Right, take the right towel. Excellent. And good luck. Picks Mizera, which is his main. We'll see how this goes. This is a nice matchup, but it can go very badly for me, too. It can go badly for Zera as well, though. It's just, I think Zera does have an advantage. Very good try of that thrust, actually. Oof, I managed to beat it somehow. You can hear the blade beat sound if you were confused. That's what the game thinks happened. I'd have to play that back to see if that made sense, though. Oh, didn't quite get the kill. Good stab, though. And good fight, Tao. 7-3, that went better than I expected. I tend to find, since I'm really good with Alexander, I can make the matchup work. And so, it depends on the day. Sometimes I get slaughtered by a good Zera player. Other times it's the other way around. There's rarely an in-between, but sometimes there is. And when it is, it's obviously fantastic. But that went way better than I expected. Good fight, Tao, though. Okay, Piper against Maestro. This will probably be a really good fight. GG, Tao. Just gonna make sure you get the message. Excellent. All right. Actually, I don't think the links died this whole time, so tip, if you guys want to get in really quickly, you can probably just click the link and try and join. I might be wrong, but I don't think the link has died this whole time. I'm used to the link dying, so that might be a quick way to join. If you know you're coming up next, just click preemptively. I find it looks nicer to have the link in the call, though. Just a weird aesthetic thing, so I might still continue sending the messages, but if you want to join faster, that's a good way to do it. Oh yeah, there's some discussions about the tiers of the characters. Everyone seems to have a different opinion on Alexander. I think most people think Alexander sits somewhere in the B tier. It's just where does he sit in the B tier? But yeah, most people would say B tier, which I tend to agree with. I think his potential though is definitely Piper just disconnected. I hope I didn't kick you by mistake. I kind of clicked on Parsec and clicked off, so I hope I didn't. kick you. But you can go ahead and join. Yeah, but like I said, the potential for Alexander is definitely at S tier, I think. I mean, I'm kind of living proof of that, but but he's really difficult to use, really difficult to master as far as the footwork and the combos, so he's good if you are somebody who doesn't like sticking to a move list and just sort of doing your own thing. He's very good for that. But if you prefer a strict move list to adhere to, then he's not a good character for you. Because you gotta really invent some of your own combos yourself. Piper on the left, Maestro on the right. We're gonna see the same matchup. Oh, I think it's Piper is doing it, I'm not sure, but Piper's the common denominator so far. All good, by the way, especially depending on the controller you're using. It's very easy to pick the wrong button, so it's not a big deal. Piper on the left again. You're on the left, and then Maestro will take the right. Go with your picks again. It's probably best if you do that. So I'll go with Alexander since you selected him. I know you might prefer Isabella Piper, but it's really best to just stick with your initial pick. In fact, I should make that a rule, I think, in the future, just to so it's really clear. But, should make it clear just that, the pick you go with once you select it, if it's clear that it's a deliberate pick and not some kind of accident, which can happen as well. That's the tough thing, though, right? Because you want to make a rule about that, but then people accidentally select characters all the time, so where do you draw the line? Someone could fake an accident and then counterpick, you know? So we could just make it an honor system, I think. That's probably the best solution to that. Because potentially somebody could just go back out of nowhere, right? And sort of counterpick that way. That's the type of counterpicking I have an issue with, because it's like once you're locked in, I think you should just stick with your pick, so it is what it is. Anyway, that's a double. Very close fight. Muscle memory, click Marie. Yeah, I get it. I've done that too, where I just muscle memory without even thinking about the opponent I'm facing, and I've sometimes paid for it, sometimes I haven't. But, yeah. Counterpicking, to be clear, is perfectly fine. I don't have an issue with that at all. It's actually a lot of fun, I think. But the danger is just when somebody's already selected, or when you've both already selected, I should say, and suddenly somebody switches. I think that's the only thing where it's a little bit dishonorable, but, you know, it is what it is. 7-3 for Maestro. It was initially pretty even. Sorry to ignore the match and not commentate it too much, but it was initially kind of close, but then Maestro was able to take control, I think. And so that's why I tend to think Zera is a tough matchup. It's for many of those reasons. No, I'm perfectly fine with counterpicking. Counterpicking's not the issue. The issue is just when both players locked in, and then potentially somebody could try switching. But, yeah. That's an interesting issue, though, to look at, just if somebody tries to counterpick after they're locked in like that. But, I think most people are pretty honorable with that, so I'm not gonna mess with it. But it's something to keep in mind in the future, for sure. But counterpicking as in, oh, you see your opponent pick something and you end up choosing someone else, that's fine. I don't have an issue with that. Anyway, Oak is in, and I'll give you keyboard. Alright, Oak on the left. Usually it's pretty clear when it's an accident, so I don't think it's a massive issue, but... Anyway, let's not dwell on that. Good luck, Oak. He wasn't trying to? Okay, it just looked like he was. Because he kind of gestured towards Isabella, that's all. We're all good then. I think it happened with Siant, though. That's why I felt it was worth mentioning. Oof. Oh, I didn't mean to dash. Nice kill, though. Nice kill. Very good fight, Oak. Okay, 7-5. That's a very common score, which is good to see, actually. That means the matches were close overall. Okay, so we got Eve against Town now. That's gonna be a really nice match. I got pinged twice about something. I'll have a look. Siant only picked different because you press back. Yeah, but whatever. Whatever, it's not a big deal. Anyway, community update. What happened? As in you press back, not her. Okay. So you haven't selected? Is that what you're saying? If so, that doesn't matter. Anyway. Community update. Let me just have a look. We're rolling through this tournament, so I'm just curious. This looks neat. I'm just glossing through it. Second boss fight. Excellent. Alright, so it's coming out soon, presumably. Alright, let's get going. You guys can pause and read if you're curious. I'm just sort of scrolling through quickly and getting the names done. We're not going to spend too much time on that. Eve, you're going to take the left. Tau on the right. I just kind of skimmed through it. If there's a date somewhere in there as to when it comes out, because I didn't see it during my skim, feel free to let me know. Anyway, Eve on the left, Tau on the right. Thanks for letting us know there, Luck. I didn't even notice. Didn't notice the community update at all. So we're seeing a longsword fight between Eve and Tau, which is very good to see. Eve bringing out that Isabella. I feel like I should have picked Isabella against him in hindsight, because that would have made Eve switch to Isabella possibly. But it's actually kind of tough to say. Eve is a really tough Isabella, so really tough to say what would have been the best call against him. Because Eve was just, he seemed to have my number. He's been doing really well. Though he did lose to Wrath, so definitely looking to get a win here. And there's been a bunch of trades for both, but no kill. Then Tau gets the stab. That's the perfect time to land that stab, when there's a lull in the fight or your opponent's backing up. Thinking they're safe from your cuts, but then you get a stab. Nothing special, but good to see it's almost done, yeah. It's good. Good to hear. I just wish Kubo would stop saying soon. That's my only thing. His communication with the community could be improved, but, you know. It's just one of those Kubo things we've grown used to. Nice retreat cut from Tau. A lot of people say that Zera is at a disadvantage against Isabella, but I just don't think that's the case. If the Zera player knows what he's doing. That's kind of the key. I think Zera is still pretty powerful overall, but he is difficult to use in the sense that there are certain moves that are not really advisable to be throwing all the time. So someone playing him has to kind of learn that stuff. Nice stab from Tau. Retreat cut doesn't land, and then Eve gets another kill. Nice stab to the face as Eve rushes in. Tau has been really good at landing those stabs. Eve really needs to make this fight dirty. Getting close a little bit. Nice snipe to the hand. That's another thing you can do with Isabella, is aim for that hand. I think that's been working a lot for me when I fight Zera of Isabella. Nice. Eve goes for the hand, but then switches and goes down with the X cut to get around the guard. That was beautifully done. And Eve trying to snipe the arm, which would have worked if he was closer, but he kept going, seeing that he had an advantage. Tau was panicking a little bit, I think. And nice retreat cut as Eve probably tried to throw a cut of his own there, but he did not have... He was not in an advantageous position to do so. Eve rushing up the snap cut. Tau's counter cut blocks it, but that's... Wow, he just cut a section of his skull off. Did you see that? That actually looked pretty nasty. It was almost like he cut a section of the skull off, or he cut a section of the scalp off, and we saw like a view of his skull, or something like that. That was actually a pretty nasty looking cut animation. I should say wound decal, not animation. It reminds me of the stuff you see in Half Sword. But Tao takes it eventually. That was a very close fight, actually. So it is 7-6 Tao. Okay, Wrath against Xiant now. Man, Parset's being weird. Do you guys see that? I'm trying to... I don't know what it's doing. It has some kind of weird visual bug. I'm not doing that, so... Alright, Wrath versus Xiant Lark. So Wrath has been on a bit of a roll right now, looking to secure another win. Yeah, you guys see that? It's going rapidly up and down. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Thankfully, it doesn't matter because I can just move my cursor where I want to click and it'll work, but a little bit annoying. Okay, Wrath, you're going to take the left. Xiant, you're going to take the right. And it's not happening anywhere else, so it's not an issue with my setup as far as I can tell. Like, it's not happening in OBS, for instance. That's me moving my cursor there, so I'm not sure what it is. But anyway. Throws you a bit for a loop, but it doesn't really matter, so that's good. Just visual bugs. Wrath, take the left. Xiant on the right. Question is, who will Xiant go with? Is Wrath gonna go... He was thinking Gideon, I think. Now he's thinking Isabella, which is, I think, the counter people often think of to Marie. A very good counter pick, but Xiant Lark did a little... Did some mind games there and went with Sam instead, which is beautiful to see, because she tricked Wrath into thinking that she had selected. And by the way, Sam, I think, is a pretty good pick against Isabella. I don't think he has a complete dominant advantage over her or anything, but I do think his guard is pretty solid, and that helps him out a lot. But we've seen Isabella win before, so... It definitely... I think Sam used to dominate this matchup, though, back when he was really strong. Xiant playing like Boss Sam with that big lunge. Yeah, that's why that move gives me PTSD, Venator. I'm sure it gives you PTSD as well. The way she uses that move. It actually works very well to initiate if your opponent just sort of stands there. But for anyone who doesn't know, that move bypasses auto guard a lot. It especially bypasses with the Boss Sam because he's taller and has a bigger blade. So it's a much more scary move when he does it. But even in the multiplayer, it's still a pretty dangerous move, I think. Yeah, it might be faster too with the boss, I'm not sure. But Sam has a pattern with it too, the boss Sam that is. He does a normal cut, you parry, and then what he does is he does the big move to catch you while you're trying to reflexively riposte against him. And he's just out of range oftentimes, so your swing will then whiff, and then he'll hit you with that move. And often it won't even just be after one attack, it'll be after multiple, so he gets you into a rhythm. The AI is actually really good at that. And then he catches you with the slower move, which is difficult to block even if you're ready for it. But it's especially difficult if you're trying to throw an attack. I found anyway. Anyway. Yeah, so when I see that move, I'm like, oh shit. Okay, so Wrath is just throwing a bunch of cuts. Xiant's defense staying pretty solid, but there's a double. Stab attempt, but the snap cut lands. That's a good counter to stabs, actually. Especially a stab like that kind of leaves you vulnerable. trying to get low. It's a little bit risky. That feint does not land because the distance was wrong, and that was a result of Wrath simply closing the distance and landing a cut. And Sam did not hit with the right part of his sword to do any damage. Upcut gets the hand. Nicely done by Wrath. Wrath trying some angles there, but his cuts were coming straight down, most of them. Then the rush attack in the middle of Sion's action, that was well done. 7-4. It's actually a really good offensive tool. Perhaps a bit underrated. Okay, we got Tao against Oak now. And just to warn you, Tao, Oak is really on his game. I don't know what that visual bug is. But anyway. Yeah, Oak is definitely at his prime right now. I did defeat him, but man, his distance management is just on point. So I'm curious what Tao will do to overcome that. Or to try and overcome that. Who knows if he'll even overcome it. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. If you're not warmed up, sometimes you just don't do as well as you might be hoping. That happens to everybody. So I totally get that. I didn't feel warmed up going into it against Eve either, but I think it was more so that Eve just outplayed me. I don't think it was simply because I wasn't warmed up. I think there was a lot more to it than that, so. Anyway, Tao on the left, Oak on the right, and you should have keyboard Oak. Yes, you do. Let's get going. It's really cool to see Seant, by the way, using grabs with different characters. So not just the rapier, but using grab with a saber, which is the type of weapon you'd expect to be grabbing more with than a rapier, and especially longsword. Actually, longsword has a lot of that type of thing, a lot of grappling. That's a product of the fact that it's from a medieval tradition, but it's also the nature of the weapon. The weapon is such that oftentimes you find grabbing is best if you're in that distance with the longsword. And the longsword itself can be used as a grappling assist thanks to how versatile it is, so. And a lot of saber styles too, like if you grab, you risk getting your hand cut off, so that's why you might not always see a whole lot of it. Kind of depends on the saber style. There is some grappling though, for sure. But just because it's a close range weapon doesn't mean it's always gonna be suitable to grab. Seant is the CEO of grabbing, yep, pretty much. I don't think anybody grabs better than her right now. That's a double. Stab by Oak actually lands, but does not kill. Tao trying to catch Oak on the way in, but that's going to be tough against someone like Oak who's really mastered that distance management. Good catch by Oak to stop that thrust as well. Good idea from Tao, but it just didn't connect. Okay, Tao scored another flag. And nice sidestep by Oak. Actually manages to get the kill. That was a little bit scary, but he managed to do just enough damage to prevent Tao from moving forward with that attack. And another thrust from Tao lands. Tao seems to be really relying on those thrusts. To mixed results, as expected, Zera really commits to those. But when he lands a perfect thrust, it's brutal. And it's a really good move to use against someone like Oak, who moves in and out. But Oak is very good at that distance management. So that was good that he mixed it up. He didn't just go for a stab this time. He went for like an A cut around the guard. Well, the thrust somehow gets a kill. I think that should have been Oak's, but that's okay. We've seen that with stabs, actually, a few times in this tournament, I think. Just the stab misses pretty convincingly, or it doesn't hit very well, and somehow it lightsabers the opponent. Happens with Isabella especially. But we saw it with Zera just now here too. Nice lunge by Oak getting a kill. Well, there's a pause. Possibly lag. Let's just wait it out a little bit. Long guard when you're ready, guys. You know what to do. Alright, they're both long guarding. That was a very brief lag spike, which is good to see. Connection has been stable. No complaints from anybody that I'm aware of. Just the standard delay, of course, but that cannot be helped. Good retreat cut from Tau. Tau using the reach, which is very good. You gotta use that reach of Zera. You can't let Laszlo get too close. And nice sidestep getting around the stab. That was a good attempt by Tau. I think the distancing was perfect. It's just that Oak was ready for something like that and sidestepped, which was a little bit of a risk on Oak's part, arguably, because Tau could have cut in that direction and killed him. But it's those types of risks that Oak really needs to take, and that was a good hit from Tau. Tau just needs to finish it. He can't, though. Oak's defense is solid, but he's lost his perhaps most valuable tool, his footwork. At least on paper, I say that he lost his footwork, but it's funny because he sidestepped really well there. That was one of the few situations where that sidestep actually works really well. And so Oak clutched it, and it's anybody's fight here. And Oak goes for a second cut, which was clutch because Tau nearly had him there. That is scary for Oak in particular. So it's really good that Oak got that kill. So Tau is really trying to catch that arm, you can tell. And he goes for that thrust, but sometimes it's knocked offline because Laszlo has a good guard where he can set things offline like that. With a small motion, which is what you'd want to do if you're not long guarding. Oak thought he had an opportunity and went for the 1-2, but Tau's blade got in the way, and he backed away just in time. That could have been punished. That could have landed too. That is scary. But Oak is very good at the distance management. However, as I say that, he gets cut twice, and Tau takes it, finding some good angles. But that was a very close fight. That was anybody's for sure. 7-6. Maestro Cake against Wrath now. And I get to fight Piper after this, which is exciting. And then right after that, I get to fight Wrath. So, Wrath, if you want to do the Alexander Mirror, I'm more than happy to take you up on that. Because I know you're very good at it, so I'm really excited for that, if you want to do that. Anyway, see what Wrath picks for Maestro. I'm a little bit curious about that. Maestro, you'll take the left. Wrath, you'll take the right. Excellent. Zera against Samuel. Okay. Okay, Wrath possibly lagging, or is he inviting his opponent in? Just long guard Wrath, if that's your tactic. It's a little confusing. Alright. Alright. Either that or he was lagging. So feel free to give him space if you want, Maestro, whatever you want to do. You don't have to, though. It looks like that might have been intentional. Now there's a cut to the head. Feel free to pause the game, by the way, guys. That makes it very clear that something's going wrong if you pause it, instead of just backing away. It's good to back away too, but just eliminate doubt if you can by pausing the game. That's only if you get lag, though. Don't do it if you're just getting a bit of delay or something. But if you're getting actual lag or something's going wrong like that, that's when you pause. Oh, that... I thought that swing landed, but Maestro just closed in and pushed them. Kind of bizarre. Maestro with the sidestep. Maestro turning up the aggression, and it's actually working against Samuel. Okay, possibly lag for Wrath, I think. Yeah, Maestro looks good. Wrath's good now, too. Just a slight lag spike for Wrath. Wrath is pretty far away, by the way, so these sorts of things are kind of expected. Over in Brazil. Oh my goodness, Maestro getting some snap cuts, and Wrath is able to get a more convincing hit at the end there. I don't think Maestro's blow even landed. Oh, nice sidestep. Yeah, Zera's sidestep game is kind of deceptive. And Sam is just not able to do enough damage to really trade with that. So Wrath needs to fence more cleanly, I think, to overcome that. Beautiful. Beautiful combo by Wrath. Maestro trying to get an upcut, but Wrath's defense is solid and Maestro is a bit out of measure. Out of measure again, definitely a risk. That stab was done from really close, so that resulted in a trade. You can see a wound that's not really properly on Sam's model, which is kind of bizarre. It's like he's holding... It's like on his sleeve. It's a little hard to tell, but it's actually on it. It was on his sleeve is what it was on. But it was kind of warped and transparent. Perhaps Zera's cuts are cutting through the space-time continuum or something. I don't know. It's like he's throwing a cut somewhere else, but it doesn't matter. It still connects because of some space magic shenanigans. So Maestro's swing there, it almost looked like it landed. It was very close to his neck, so that's obviously scary for Samuel. But Samuel had his blade in the way, so it was just enough to stop it. So it would have looked a little bit strange at first, but it looked legit to me because it didn't actually land. So very close fight between these two. Very similar characters in some ways. And a nice cut to the hand. So Wrath has been trying to land that exact cut for a while. He's landed it once or twice, but he's been really struggling, I think. And Maestro catches him when he's being defensive and gets a push. Wrath wasn't quite ready for it. And so this is very tense for both fighters. Thrust attempt from Maestro, good idea, but it just doesn't land. Good parries by Wrath, gets a cut to the hand. Gotta watch Zera's power, though. Gotta fence very clearly. Oh, he went for the high guard instead of just cutting, and Maestro managed to kill him. If Wrath was just ready on the cut, he probably would have won that. But those pushes when Zera rushes in are pretty terrifying because Zera can just throw a cut out of nowhere when you try and punish the push. So it's a deceptive tool, I think. And that's why Wrath kind of froze up there. Okay, Piper. My student's gonna fight me now, as I call him, because I've taught him a lot of the stuff he knows of Alexander. So since he and I are like the only expert Alexander players, Wrath too, actually. Let's put Wrath in there as well. But there's really nobody else besides us, so. Yeah, I'll put Wrath in there as well, just because of how... He's actually beaten me in the mirror too, by the way. Wrath, that is, so... Yeah, Wrath's a really good Alexander as well when he wants to play him. He doesn't have to, though, to win, for sure. He's really good with Sam as well. Alright, so Piper, you'll take the right side, if I didn't tell you already. Alright, Piper. Let's go. Let's mirror each other. No, don't pick Isabella. There you go. You can, in all seriousness, though, you can pick Isabella if you want. But I was hoping for a mirror, so just because it's fun. Anyway, good luck. Don't feel you have to mirror though if you don't want to. If you want an advantage and you want to pick Isabella, feel free. Alright, good fight. That was some really good footsies you were doing, actually. The score might not reflect it, but you were doing some really good footsies. I had to really stay on my toes. But I can head bob too, as you saw there. Did the B cut, because that was inspired by Piper, actually. Piper taught me how dangerous that move can be. I've kind of disregarded it before, because it often exposes your head, but I suppose head bobbing exposes your head to begin with, so does it really matter that much? You're taking a risk either way, so. And it's a nice low cut. That's something that Alexander tends to lack. He doesn't have very good low cuts, so besides that one and a few others. Shafted. Good fight, though. Yeah, autocomplete is special sometimes. Alright, Seant against Eve now. Okay, Eve is in, waiting for Seant now. Seant, by the way, you gotta do a fight against Maestro after this, so stay in. I don't think we'll do a break at the end of this round. We'll do a break maybe after round 5 if I feel like it. I'm still ready to go, so. If we do a break though, it'll only be like 5 minutes to like grab coffee or something. But it won't be long. So Seant, you'll take the left side. Eve, you'll take the right. Let's go. Who are they gonna pick is the question. Seant's going with Sam. Yeah. Oh yeah, that was interesting. So she was kind of baiting a little bit, but ended up going with Sam anyway. Yeah, that was a good pick because Eve was anticipating a possible Marie, so that was the really the smart pick perhaps to go with Sam from that perspective. But then you could also say it might have been smarter for Eve to go with Saber almost, but then Seant might have switched to Marie, so they can counter each other, and that's the beauty of the counter picks. And then at that point, it's just like you gotta learn, if you don't like certain matchups, you gotta learn how to overcome them. That's how it goes. We need Wrath and more tourneys, yeah. What I think doesn't help him is that I'm not hosting as often as I used to. Because think about it, Europe is even further away. So... And also just the timing, I think, of tourneys, I think. The times I tend to host seem to be really good for Wrath, so... Oh, I thought that was gonna land. Grab attempt. It's quite a brawl so far. So Venator predicted that Eve was gonna win the whole thing. But so far it's not looking too good for Eve, actually. Measured aggression by Sion. Yeah, I agree. And she, sorry, is aiming for the head a lot, which is helping against Isabella. Nice retreat cut by Eve. Eve was definitely feeling the pressure there, backing away. Yeah, exactly. The guard is used in a really offensive manner, I think, almost. Offensive, defensive. Oh, could have punished the push, but it was too late. Too late, and then Eve got a retreat cut. Oh, nice leg cut from Eve, which took out the... Effectively took out the footwork of Sion. Yeah, exactly. When those streaks happen, it really affects your morale. I tend to sometimes get emboldened by it, though, because that's why you see the comebacks that I do. It's like it's almost like you're cornering an animal, you know? And then all of a sudden I get even better than I usually am if you start winning in a streak like that. Unless you're Venator. Venator's the one who can keep a streak going like that against me if he gets one. Doesn't always, but if he does, you know, I really struggle. I don't lose focus when I'm losing a bunch of flags like that. Unfortunately, Siant, I think, is... Yeah, Eve adjusted really well, and now Siant is really struggling to figure something out here. Seems to have happened in kind of a blink of an eye. Eve just swiftly got an advantage. And nice cuts from Eve. So that is 5-3 for Eve, actually. That was a little bit of an upset in the sense that... Or 7-3, I should say. I think I said 5-3. Anyway, 7-3. But either way, a bit of an upset because it looked like Siant was just getting a dominant performance, but not quite. Eve adjusted really well, and that shows his experience as well. Both fighters very experienced. Alright, Maestro Cake, we're gonna get you in now. Salmon experience, yeah, that could also be a big part of it. Because you definitely know how to play him, but you just haven't played him the way Koala has. You can forfeit if you want, Piper. No one's gonna stop you. And, you know, we've had people do that before, so... If you've got a D&D game to run, honestly, you should get on that. So... Is there a button to press? Yeah, there should be a forfeit button, but I can do it myself, too. So... It's up to you which way you want to do it. I think I'll just do it. It's probably simpler, since you don't seem to know where it is. It's a little difficult to find this new layout, to be fair. So, might be better for me to just remove. And we're not going to substitute him in, to be clear. We're just going to count this as a forfeit. Because it's a little bit unfair to suddenly say, put luck in here. Or Ezekiel, actually. Ezekiel was signing up as a replacement. Interesting. Yeah, it might be a little bit unfair to give luck a crack at a champion title. Potentially, you know, hypothetically. Anyway. So, Siant and Maestro Cake. Let me just, so Siant, you actually stay on the left. It's a bit randomized, so that sometimes happens. You'll probably be on the right in your next fight. Try to throw a couple thrusts. Yeah, Sam has actually some deceptively good thrusts, I think. Retreat cuts. Yeah, those are very good with Sam. Alright, Sion's on the left. Maestro on the right. Maestro doesn't know who to pick. Threatening Yazek. I think Sion's already committed, so... Maestro really thinking this through. I honestly just use what's been working. Yeah. Retreat A's and B's of Isabella. Yeah, they're actually pretty good. Good beat by Maestro. Clearing some space. Nice false edge cut. What? What was that? Marie blocked that while grabbing, too. That's the wild thing. Usually she doesn't block that at all. But she blocked it while grabbing. That's crazy. Poor Maestro. Probably a little bit frustrated from that. I mean, anybody would be. So, I don't blame him. Nice stab to the arm. Sion has a way of sort of getting in your head a little bit. She uses that to her advantage well. Grab mash. Yeah, that rarely works. That's why I don't like grabbing very much. Anyway, Maestro's blow seemed to hit her pretty dead on, but it didn't, so... Nice thrust, interrupting the cut with that thrust. That's a beautiful way to stop an incoming longsword. Unfortunately, Sion has a tendency to get too close sometimes, and sometimes that's good for grabbing, actually, but in that case, it wasn't the right call, because that retreat cut can just bypass the guard at that point and then hit you. So Sion's actually really good at harassing Maestro's guard. Maestro thinks he can just defend, but Sion is reminding him that auto guard is not the be-all end-all. Just as you have to attack intelligently, you also have to defend intelligently. There are times when defending is not the right call. So Sion trying to provoke Maestro a little bit. And that's actually a double, because Maestro ran into it. Maestro trying to get an early win. Honestly, he could have probably been killed right then. But it ends up being a trade. Windmill, no kill. And this third cut finally gets the kill. Probably Marie's height, actually, because that results in hits that would normally hit the head of other characters, not hit her head to hit, like, her arm or something. Yeah, that's not the best thrust to trade with, unfortunately. It's a good thrust when you hit the arm, but sometimes when you hit the body, it doesn't quite kill, unless your opponent runs into it. So Sion has to be a bit careful of that. Probably pick more damaging thrusts. Unfortunately, Sion just kind of ran into the long guard that time. So she did really well at the beginning, but she needs to really dig in now. Don't get rash just because your tactic's no longer working. Gotta adjust to your opponent's adjustment. Nice! Sidestep A. Sion can definitely do that. Might wonder why the double lunge is not coming out. That's because Zara is actually really good at defending against it. So Sion is trying to go for more optimal attacks. Oh, that... I say that, I'm not sure the lunge was very optimal, but for the most part, she was doing optimal attacks. The commentator's curse there. So 7-5. Granted, if Maestro was doing like a high cut or something, that could have landed. That could have totally landed. So I don't know why I clicked my match. Hang on. So that was 7-5 for Maestro. I don't know why I put 7. Hey, here we go. I was thinking Maestro was on the left for some reason. Okay, Wrath. You're gonna take the left this time. And let's see if he wants to do the Alexander mirror or if he wants to counterpick. Either one is legit. I'm perfectly open to both of them. Hoping for a good fight either way.
Hey, Cebu.
Oh, hey.
I just checking in case you didn't see it, but Luck wants to be subbed in for Piper.
Oh, he does? Let
Yeah,
me
and I
check
think
his score. Yeah.
it's it should be Tao versus Luck now in that
Okay.
case. Just letting you know.
Okay. So Piper's lost a bunch of fights, so actually I think that's fine. I think we can just let him in.
Yeah, he said he doesn't think he can actually win it, so
Yeah, he
thought it
can't.
should be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, cool.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know. We'll deal with that right now. So I gotta remove him properly from there somehow. Okay, challenge being a bit slow. Substitute. There we go. Name's already been taken. What? Do I have to reactivate him? Here we go. Okay. There we go. We got it. We got it. So if Luck just accepts the request to join, I guess. Hang on, that doesn't look quite right. I don't see his profile pic. So let me deal with that while we're. It's not loading. There we go. Name's already taken. I don't understand. Okay, I'm trying to remove Luck entirely. I don't understand why he's not in the tourney. Or it's why he's still in the tourney, though. I can't substitute here for some reason. That's really weird. I don't understand how his name could be taken. Name's already taken. What do you mean? Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter if you pick username or not. Signed up as a sub. Yeah, so it should let him in, right? That was the whole point of that. So I don't know why it's not letting him in. Alright, let me refresh this. This is a little bizarre. Because I'm trying to just straight up delete him, but it's not. It's doing this, but then I have to reactivate it apparently to substitute. It's kind of weird. Invitation participant name has been taken. But it should just let him in then, right? Whatever, let's... Yeah, I pressed the delete button, so I don't understand why it's not deleted. Remove luck from 9. How do you remove him from 9? Okay, remove. That doesn't do anything. Delete the sub. Yeah, but it kind of ruins the whole tourney thing if it's not properly displayed, so... Yeah, I see I can't delete number 4. That's the problem. I don't know what they changed, but it used to be so much simpler. Can't do anything there. Sorry to make you wait, Wrath. We gotta deal with this, so... Alright, reactivate. Let's see if... Substitute with... Number 4 is Piper, you renamed it. Yeah, I get that. But... I can't... Like, I should just be able to move you into there, right? Or something, but it's not working. Alright, I don't know. So I can't name it back, apparently. I try to get rid of this, and it doesn't do anything, so... I don't know how you sub somebody in. And the thing is, you're thinking username, I'm thinking display name. The display name is very clearly not Piper and Drummer here, so... I don't know. Let's just move on with the match for now, because this is a little annoying to deal with. So, yeah. Alright, Wrath, you'll take the left, I'll take the right. Names are set, excellent, alright. Alright, good try. Okay, 7-0. Yep, because I went around the guard. Alright, Eve against Oak now. That'll be a good fight. Try the username instead of... Oh, yeah, I think you sent that earlier. So I don't know why I can't. There's usually a substitute button next to the participant, right? But I don't see that here. It was there before, I'm pretty sure, but it's not here now. So what's your email, Luck? Let's try your email really quick. You can just private message me that or something, or just send me your username. In theory, that should work too, because apparently your username down here doesn't work. So probably because your display name is a bit different from your username. Alright, try and join again. I think you two tried joining. Yeah, it should be possible though. Maybe they changed something though, Tao. That might be. Says to do what I already tried. If Luck leaves the tournament. Okay, so Luck, you have to manually leave the tournament, then I can add you in, I think. IDK Luck? Okay. Invitation invitable has already been added or invited to this tournament. It didn't seem to work before, but it seems to be an error. But if you check your invites, maybe you got some kind of invite. So let's see if that worked. So go ahead and check, Luck. Can't scroll with my mouse for some reason. Anyway, not on this screen anyway. So Eve, you'll take the left. Oak, you'll take the right. I'm not gonna bother with that anymore. But yeah, you're right. I was looking at the website on my phone too, by the way, Eve, and I saw that it wasn't super helpful. So, oh well. You left. What? Okay. Not super helpful, but hopefully the invite works at least. Eve on the left, Oak on the right. Oh, I might not have given you keyboard. Let me just check that briefly. There we go. One more time. Laszlo against Gideon, possibly? Yes. That's a fun matchup. Nice exchange to start the fight. Both players are very good at their distance management. We'll get to Lux fights too as needed, by the way, after this, I think. But for now, we'll do this fight, see what happens. Nice retreat cuts. Oak was panicking a little bit because Eve was gonna get a blow in there. Nice trade. Unfortunately, it's not gonna be favorable for Laszlo, so Oak was a bit tired. Has to be careful now how he uses that stamina of his. Oh, looking a bit tired again, but Eve doesn't go for the kill yet. He knows he can get cut in the head really quickly if he's a bit too rash. Good parry, and Gideon just throws the sword into Oak's face and forces a double. That's the saber throwing technique. Stole that from Star Wars. Eve with a thrust. No kill, but it really does a number on that stamina, even when it doesn't kill. Low guard there from Gideon. Eve trying to snipe the arm, doesn't quite get it. Tries to sidestep. Oak, however, has really sharp footwork, so it doesn't quite work. And Eve threatens the thrust, eventually launches it, but no kill. Or sorry, no clean kill. Here's a double. Nice sidestep. That is actually a really helpful thing for Gideon, because what often then happens when he sidesteps like that is he launches a powerful cut of his own and lands it, but his left arm also takes whatever blow is coming in, and Gideon has high HP to begin with, but the left arm, for the majority of characters, it has more HP, so by taking it with that left arm, you can sometimes win those trades really handily. Nice slash from Oak, though. Oak still doing really well. Not the most ideal way to fence, by the way, but that's definitely happened in real life. It's happened in many fencing encounters where someone just takes a blow to the arm because they're desperate or whatever. That's all they can do. They grab a blade and get cut a little bit, and then so they're able to land a blow of their own. Ideally, you don't get hit at all, of course, but... Oh, the thrust was an interesting choice there, but it still worked. So Oak is ahead by 2 flags at this point. Testing the defense, that's again an unfavorable trade for Oak. Very nasty cut there, that sidestep Y. E threatening to cut upwards. Nice feint by Eve. A little bit of a double feint, I think, as well. It's just there was a feint move, and then he canceled that. Nice lunge with that cut. Yeah, I can imagine that's a controversy. Because the thing is, obviously sometimes you can just carry on fighting if you take a blow to the arm, but sometimes you can't. Sometimes you're just, it's so painful, it hits a tendon or something. And apparently if like nerves get cut, for instance, the shock can kind of radiate from the arm and kind of disable the opponent anyway. So it's like, yeah, deliberately taking blows in the arm is definitely not a good idea. And it could also just get cut off, right? At which point you're an amputee. But perhaps being an amputee is better than just straight up dying from a blow to the head, you know? So that's a risk you take. Alright, this is down to the last flag. Scary, and that retreat cut eventually lands, hitting Gideon. He doesn't... Wow, he didn't even fall over. That's kind of a funny death animation, that one. He's just kind of stunned, you know? Like, he got cut so cleanly. Alright, that was 7-6 for Oak. Alright, so I think we just skipped over 2 fights of that what Luck was supposed to do. So let's do his fight against me first. So we'll let Luck in now. Yeah, that could be a good way to teach him a lesson. Hit his hand really, really hard. And just show him that, blows to the hand aren't fun, Yes, you can, in theory, just tank blows that way, but it might not work very well. You could break someone's fingers, too, even in HEMA, with all the protective gear. It is totally possible to break someone's finger if you hit the right spot really hard. I'm not saying you should deliberately break people's fingers, of course, but I'm just saying you can hit someone's fingers and really teach them a lesson. And sometimes accidents happen, too. Just fingers are very very fragile. Let's put it that way. All right, I'll take the left. Luck will take the right. I can't spell my own name right, apparently. There we go. Yeah, exactly. If it's in the rules, it's totally fine. I'm just talking from a realism perspective, You don't want people just taking sword blows to the arm and then acting like, oh, that was clean fencing, And that was martially sound, you know what I mean? So on the one hand, it was, as per the rules of the game, it was perfectly legitimate. I say fight as dirty as you can, as the rules allow you to. But on the other hand, it's not very good fencing, is it? So I see it from, I see both sides there, I think. But I cannot fault someone for playing by the rules. I don't know, Luck's getting an extra fight then, I guess. It looked like it was one of those skip fights to me, so... Maybe I'm wrong. Oh well, Luck gets a warm-up. I guess it's kind of fair Luck gets a warm-up anyway. Not that he's gonna win the tourney or anything, he can't, but, Yeah, I'm pretty sure 7-1 Tao, sorry, not Tao, Maestro is actually correct, but oh well. Chalong's really confusing with how it looked. Very 50-50 match anyway, always fun to fight Luck. I'm with Tao there. If someone just purposely wants to take your blows to the hand, then just strike that hand a little bit hard. Tell them, you shouldn't do that, man. That's the best way to tell them. Remind them of the mistake they're making. And it's allowed, right? You can totally hit the hand, so... Good fight, Luck. Yes, and I'm pretty sure that was completely unnecessary, but we'll say that was your warm-up. Because I fought Piper already. Maestro is 100% correct, so... Anyway, I still won anyway, but yeah, the original score was 7-1, so. Was there another one you had to fight? Yes, you had to fight Tao. Okay. You had to fight Tao, so stay in. That one you definitely have to fight, so. Yeah, it's an anti-rule abuse lesson because it's not against the rules to hit the hand. So deliberately hitting the hand is perfectly fine. Just wanted to fight you. I won't argue there. I definitely did want to fight you, so. Out for blood, you bet. Anyway. Luck has a warm-up now. Piper was warmed up too, so it's not an unfair advantage. And, so Luck, he'll take the left side, it looks like. And I'll fix your thing, don't worry. It says you lost, but against Tao, but we'll fix that when the time comes. I don't want to mess with it before the match, so let's just get into it. Wasted enough time with that, messing with challenge, so. Did you fight Piper? Let me check. I think you fight Piper later, don't you? Or am I just missing something? No, I think you did fight Piper. Wasn't it Isabella Mirror or something? I don't know. Yeah, you fight him at the end, Eve. Yeah, we're all good. You didn't scroll. Yeah. Challenge is so confusing with that. You have to actually scroll through the whole thing to see the whole thing. Anyway. Carry on. Luck is gonna go with Barabash, probably. We know who Tao is using. Knee spam, that must look hilarious. I can see how it would be annoying though, so that's a really good way of teaching him a lesson. Two cuts. And that's a trade actually. Double. So Luck is a very different opponent from me and Tao. That was an exhibition fight, that's what that was. A warm-up that Luck did earlier. It was really close though, so I hope Luck found that satisfying too. Windmill attacks from Tao, eventually gets the kill. Well, it's not so much that you're out to hurt them, Maestro, you're just out to remind them, right? You're out to... You just hit him in the hand and you're like, you shouldn't do that, you know, that's how you remind him. You're not out to, like, break his fingers or anything, but if the fingers are broken, that's kind of on him, you know? I think. As long as you're not just, like, putting everything you have into those blows and going to... using too much force with them, I guess. But if you're purposely hitting the hand, there's nothing wrong with hitting the hand, right? The hand is a target. So if you're purposely taking blows in the hand, you have only yourself to blame for getting hurt, I guess, right? Yeah, so it's not the intent to hurt, it's the intent to strike the hand and show them, you know, you shouldn't do that. So Luck is actually really struggling to make much of anything happen against Tao. Tao has been playing a really good game, which is good because Tao has had some struggles earlier, but he's warmed up now. Definitely in the zone, which is good to see. Good sidestep from Luck. Perhaps Luck needs to do a bit more of that. By hitting the hand. Anyway, Tao gets it. 7-3 there for Tao. Score, excellent. Tao, you gotta stay in though. You're fighting Wrath next. Oh, he left already. That's okay. There we go. You don't care? Yeah, exactly. It's not really that big of a deal. As long as you're playing within the rules, right? Because oftentimes in like HEMA matches and stuff, they say you shouldn't go like all out with your blows. Going all out with your blows also is unsafe for you too, because you're telegraphing them, right? But if you're purposely trying to like concuss your opponent or something, or you're just using more blows than you need to score that point, you're just battering them for no reason, that type of thing, that is obviously not allowed, but giving someone a good hit to the hand within reason is perfectly fine. And sometimes the gear is not sufficient to prevent your fingers from being hurt, so that's kind of the danger. You want to protect your hands, but you also want to be able to move your hands, so the hand protection is obviously going to be limited to some extent, one way or another. Gloves are getting better and better at protecting the hand, but there's always going to be some kind of limitation. You could wear metal gauntlets in theory, but the problem is metal on metal. That can cause the fetters, the steel swords they often use to get damaged. And when they get damaged, that creates sharp edges, and you don't want sharp edges on a training sword. So that's why they usually don't allow metal armor, at least in the context of the unarmored dueling. Steel swords are usually fine in the armored dueling because you're mostly thrusting, you're not really cutting ever, so the risk of damaging them is much more unlikely to happen. So anyway, Tao, you'll take the left side, Wrath, you'll take the right. Is tickling allowed in UFC? That's an interesting question. If it's not in the rules, I suppose it's allowed. Well, okay, I think that was an accident there on Wrath's part. We can go back. Yeah. Very easy to do. Okay, Zera against Samuel. That's a good pick, I think. There's a rule about tickling. I'd love to read that if there is. Obviously, about tickling certain body parts, there might be a rule, but if there's an actual rule about tickling, that's amazing. Hard to do. Yeah, if someone's trying to punch you in the face, it's probably difficult to just tickle someone. And we're talking about fighters here who are used to taking punishment, so I would hope that tickling doesn't put them out of action. It's not gonna work and nobody bothers. Yeah, I mean, why would it work? If they're not ticklish, then you're gonna get sparked out. Yeah, exactly. And I doubt you're gonna find very many ticklish people in the UFC. Give it a quick try to confuse them. I mean, that could work. Oh, do a Mike Tyson and just bite it entirely? You can't do that, of course. Lick their eyeballs. Wow. But is that actually permitted, though? That's the question. Can you lick the eyeballs or not, I wonder. I know you can't poke them or anything like that, but can you lick them? Is that specifically not allowed? Smearing blood on your opponent's face. I mean, why not? Cough in their face, say you have COVID. I feel like that's just gonna anger your opponent, wouldn't it? I feel like if you wanted to scare your opponent, you'd have to say, I have HIV or something. That would scare him a bit more. But then it's like they wouldn't even be in the fight in the first place, so. But it's a fun idea. Fun idea for sure. Prohibited to touch certain body parts. Yeah, yeah. Technically poking them with your tongue so it's a foul. Okay. Okay, so Tao has his opponent cornered, but isn't able to make much happen. Active TB. You know, the scary thing about TB is that it's very possible that everybody in this chat right now has TB. You just don't have the active variant that actually causes damage. But there's like an absurd amount of people who have latent TB, and they never know that they have it. But it could, in theory, spark up and become the dangerous variant. So it makes you think if it mutates, TB could be really dangerous actually. It's one of the most infectious diseases out there. Okay, so Tao got 4, Wrath got 7, of course. Tuberculosis. Yeah, a third of all adults. Can you just imagine that? It's crazy. And there's like an absurd amount of people who are guaranteed to get the actual active variant. Not in developed countries so much, but in countries that are developing, it's very dangerous. Because I think in many parts of the world, they don't have the antibodies that we do in the West, so that's where it really gets dangerous, I think. But if it mutates or something, it could totally just cause some problems. Alright, Siant, you're gonna get the right side, I believe. Yes. Is pinching allowed in UFC? Yeah, it must be, because pinching is grabbing, right? Technically. A weird way of grabbing, but it's grabbing. Not the antibodies, but the access to the medicine. Okay. Like we have antibiotics and stuff, yeah. Yeah, because we can treat it, right? Oftentimes, even if people get symptoms, we can treat it, so. Yeah, that's a good point. I think there's variants that are like resistant though to antibiotics, so they're not very common, but they exist. Can't use your nails. Yeah, of course. You can pinch those, surely. Anyway, I should focus on the fight. Kind of wish I went Isabella now, but can't change that. That depends, Maestro. She can hit really hard with like 200 damage with one thrust, too. All depends on how she lands it. She sometimes does the most damage in the game, and I've done that pretty reliably. So, depends on the move you pick. Alright, good fight, Seont. Very good fight. Double lunge also really reliably kills. That's a good move to pick. Short thrusts, yeah, those are a good option too. Very close one. Okay, 7-5. Hey, Maestro against Eve, and then Oak against Luck. That'll be a cool one. Maestro against Eve as well. We're getting close to finishing up. It's gonna be roughly 3 hours, I think, total. Because we had some hiccups there with the challenge being stupid, but... Oh well. 3 hours is pretty typical for a tournament anyway. That's nothing. Okay, Maestro take the left, Eve take the right. What about yelling at your opponent to feint an attack in UFC? The way Gideon does it. Do a little war cry. I feel like that'd make you lose focus if you did that too much, but that's why they don't do it, but... Also, breathing's really important, right? If you're screaming a lot, you know, that can affect your stamina, so... Interesting idea, though. Yawning. Anyway, Maestro getting a hit to the leg. Eve got a slight hit too, but Eve is limping. Maestro hesitant to engage, and this really plays to Eve's advantage. I think tired swings from both. Eve gets it. Very lucky for Eve that that did not hit the head, I think. Push from Maestro gets punished. That's how you do it. When you're ready for it, the push is very easy to counter. But the danger is exactly that. Maestro can also just throw a cut. Doesn't need to push. Nice upcut from Eve. Past the guard, finding a perfect angle. So it's actually Eve on the aggressive side now. His Maestro is refusing to engage first. And he's paying for it. There you go. Nice downward cut. Eve trying to do an active parry, but it doesn't quite work. Yeah, I think the timing was just off. Bit of an exchange. Eve deflecting and then going for a stab, but it doesn't get through. That looks like a double. It's another double. Nice hit. Okay, Maestro finally got a kill, but he's really struggling here. Another kill for Maestro. Another kill for Maestro. Nice comeback. And finally, though, Eve scores that kill. That was a little bit scary for him that Maestro was making that comeback, but Eve got it. 7-5. Oak against Luck now. And we'll fix that match, of course. And then Oak will get to fight Wrath after, so Oak, make sure you don't leave. Eve will get to fight Luck then. And then Siant will fight Tao, and I'll fight Maestro. Excellent. Oak will take the left, Luck will take the right. Nice exchange so far. Quartz through into retreat cut. Getting Luck the first kill. So Luck so far ahead. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy, wasn't that? Corkscrew, retreat cut. Nice 1-2 combo. That thrust lands. Yeah, that's how you counter the corkscrew. Just hold it under your chin. Oh, the punch, but it's too far away. That's really frustrating when that happens. Yeah, Oak, you can't let Luck bully you. Don't let him bully you, son. You got this. It's not over. Oh, he's tired. Get it. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Just don't let him bully you. It's always good advice when fighting Luck, actually. Because that's what Luck wants. Luck wants to just bully you. With those moves. Harass you the whole time. Constant offensive. But don't let him do it. No, I'm not cursing him. Oh, no, that didn't hit the head. If that hit the head, it would have been a double. Alright, good effort, though, Oak. Good effort. Luck is just on fire. I mean, I struggled against him, too, so... That is Luck's first win. I think that was 7 to what, 3? No, I didn't curse him. He said, Oak said, that he needs to be told that to defeat Luck, so I was buffing him, if anything. You would have seen he was losing, but then suddenly he got 2 flags. I believe there's 2 flags because I said that, so... I think I gave him a buff. Anyway, Oak, you're still fighting. You gotta fight Wrath now. I do, but I also buffed him. I can manifest buffs as well. If you say those words, Oak is buffed against Luck. Alright, so I need to give Oak keyboard again. I hate this visual bug. Anyway, Wrath, you're gonna take the left. Oak, you're gonna take the right. Wrath on the left, Oak on the right. Interesting. So Oak has gone with Yawn, I guess, to test him out. Nice cut. Mongol shaman magic. Yeah, that's some potent magic. Like, I'll tell you. Nice corkscrew. Oak's played Yawn before. Yeah, that's true. Actually. Come to think of it. Mixing in some of Luck's moves as well, so very good showing for him so far. And the trick shot wraps around the guard. Nicely done. Very tough move to land for sure. And it's very hard to deduce like when you should throw it in the first place. It's kind of an elusive move for both fighters. You both good to go? Yeah. Alright. Probably just a slight leg spike. Whoa, goes to the side, then low, but Wrath is blocking it all. Very good try, though. They're both injured. Wrath's low on stamina. Yep, gets hit in the head. That was crazy defense by Wrath, though. Wrath just wasn't able to make anything happen. Nice, nice. Reaches forward and hits the head. Nice push. And Oak just needs one more to secure the win. What? Do you want to do a mirror match, Meister? What do you want to do? Like, what weapon do you want to use in our fight? I'm actually curious. Let me know if you feel like it. Oak against Wrath. So, Oak won pretty decisively. Zara versus Bara. Oh yeah, you're just talking about that. Saber, okay. Wait, why did I put 5? Hang on. We've had so many 7-5s, I did that on impulse. Alright, Eve against Luck. And Seant Lark against Tao, that'll be interesting. Eve on the left, Luck on the right. See what they do. Saber duel Yazikmir. Wow, okay. Curious how that one will go. Ooh, that looked like Luck might have had the advantage at first, but Eve was actually the one who won that trade. Nice counter by Eve, drawing out the thrust and then cutting the head. Oof, got cut in the middle there, so Luck secures a kill. Pretty big cut. Tries a snap cut. That might not work as well against Yazek, though. Stab to the leg. Nicely done by Eve, taking out his mobility. Now Luck is a bit tired, but he manages to force a double. And nice cut. Oh, there's a lightsaber blow right there. The damage happened after the snap, too, when he dropped the sword. Like as if it was a lightsaber. And a nice stab, though, to the heart. Eve remaining ahead, but not by much. Some cuts from Luck, and he keeps cutting when Eve thinks he can riposte, and so Luck scores it. Thrust attempt gets parried. And nice snap cut. Luck only getting a slight hit. That rush snap cut. Whoa, nice. It's almost like a feint. It was like he was gonna cut from the right side down, but then he suddenly cut with the A cut as Luck was getting defensive. And here we see even Yazek's guard can get overwhelmed by such tactics. So that was really well done by Eve. Luck on the offensive gets a bit of a hit in, but not a very good one. Nice riposte though, hitting the arm. Nice stab to the leg by Luck, but he can't follow it up. Eve, however, can't really move very much and gets hit in the head. It's a very close fight still, actually. Nice attack by Luck. Luck can still take this for sure. And then a cut to the head. Looks like Luck takes it, actually. Very nicely done. Seven to 6. And Xiant in town now. Tao's in, Xiant's in. Okay, and Xiant, you'll take the left, Tao will take the right. Let's go. Nice big cuts from Tao. Xian's gonna have to find a way to deal with that. Another kill for Tao. Tough matchup at times. Big cut from Tao, then comes around with the false edge. Delayed windmill, it looked like. And a nice stab straight to the heart from Xiant, actually, as Tao was in the middle of an action. Oh, and tries to grab after the stab, but Tao is ready for it. Tao knows what Xiant's all about. Stab misses, then a stab to the head. Nice retreat cut. Holy stance, but Xiant goes under with the lunge. That was beautiful. The triangle, I should call it. Now Xiant has to play a very clean game here. Rushes in too close, though. That's her biggest flaw, I think, lately. Good stab to the arm, though. Tao thought he was safe, I think, but not quite. Oh, again getting too close and gets stabbed right in the face. That is 7-3 for Tao. Now let's get Maestro in here. I promised a saber fight, so that's what we'll do. Let's end it with a bang. And Maestro, you'll take the left this time. Alright, good luck. Yazik. Wow. hell? Hit him a bunch of times there. Good fight. Thought he was gonna lightsaber me there. Got lucky. And 7-5, so that is the tourney. Thank you all for coming out. I know it was last minute, but we still got a perfect turnout. Can't complain with 8 people joining, and actually 9 if you count luck. So I went with 6-1. Maestro got second. That often happens. Wrath actually got third. That's a very good performance from Wrath. And a good fight, Maestro. Nah, it's not even at all. Yazlik tends to dominate that matchup, in my experience, especially the AI. The AI knows some moves that are just completely broken, and they lightsaber me every time I get a hit in. So, anyway, that's just how Yazlik is. You used a lot of very fair moves, though, I think, overall, so it went really well. Can't complain there. Thank you all for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Really great community, by the way. Very chill community. It's really good to see that our community is doing really well. Everyone's respectful to each other. Mostly, we have times where people get into fights and stuff, but it's nothing like what many communities online are out there. So thank you all for being such a great community. It just wouldn't be what it is without all of you doing your part. So I'll see you all next time.